Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2019 North American International Auto Show press preview event right here in Detroit, Michigan, USA, the Motor City, the city who put the world on wheels. Doug Damon's my name. In conjunction with your local community television network, we're proud and honored to take you through the press preview this year. Marks an epic 30-year history here at Cobo Center as an international event. But history will be made again here in Detroit beginning in June 2020 as the auto show moves outdoors. So this is your last chance to be able to sit back, enjoy the show in your easy chairs. We take you throughout about 1 million square feet of renovated space here at the Cobo Center. Beautiful facility. We're going to get a chance to see over about 700 vehicles. And since we're in the 21st century now, automation and autonomous driving is becoming more and more integrated into our daily life, and we'll do so more over the next few years. So we're going to get a chance to find out a little bit about some of the new innovations with that as well. Also an epic year for the automobile industry. In the North American Dealers Association report, the auto industry should sell about 16.8 million vehicles and light trucks for the 2019 year. So that means good news for Detroit. As well as $500 million will be spent just in these events over the next several weeks here in the area for revenues for local businesses. That's always good news too. So ladies and gentlemen, stay with us as we take you behind the scenes here at the press preview, the North American International Auto Show. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the press preview event here at the North American International Auto Show for 2019. I've got Tim with us from the Silverado truck display of General Motors, one of the most fascinating vehicles I think that are out there today. And Tim, a lot of us here in Michigan love our outdoors. You know, we're taking our boats, our horses up on the trails. This vehicle is kind of unique in that feature, and you even have an aspect that you can monitor your livestock by placing your own camera in your own trailer.
Yeah, we have advanced trailering technology on the new Silverado for 2019, and you can put in different profiles in it, up to 5. You can mount cameras, you can have checklists. You know, if you need to remember to take hay for the horses, water, what have you, can mount those or put those checklists in there. And then the other part with the cameras, you can buy an accessory kit where you can mount a camera on the back of the horse trailer in this particular case, see what you're backing up against, and then you can take and mount one inside for what you call that precious cargo, something we thought of, and you can actually watch them as you're driving down the road and monitoring the load in this one very precious cargo. Sometimes you're hauling worth more, to you and money-wise than the vehicle.
Very good idea.
Yeah.
From Chevrolet.
Yes, thank you.
And as we're into this new era of autonomous driving, the lane assist feature is kind of a beginning stages, but that's equipped also in this vehicle.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Lane keep assist is awesome, and just a lot of different things that we have on the all-new Silverado really make it a pleasure to drive. It's our best driving vehicle to date that we've ever come out with.
I know a lot of viewers are just getting used to this feature. It took me a little while to trust it. But it tested true. As if I was drifting off to the left on that white line, it just brought me right back into center. And it can brake a little faster when you're fatigued,
yes,
especially on long drives. And I found that to be a real...
And we have forward collision alert on the new Silverado. You can get that also with the lane keep assist. So it just keeps you alert at all times.
Well, sales are up for Chevrolet.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's good news, not only just for our local area, but for our entire country.
In the last 5 years, our both Chevrolet and GMC together, pickup truck-wise, we're the largest producer and seller of pickup trucks for 5 years running.
Well, Tim, keep up the good work.
Well, thanks.
And folks, remember that when you're looking to buy your next horse, get a Silverado. Stay with us here at the North American International Auto Show.
First of all, what you're seeing now with automatic braking and adaptive cruise control, that's just and lane departure warning. Those are just little tiny bits of technology which ultimately will be fused into a single system. But they're all bits and pieces of the autonomous car movement. And right now, I would say they're of questionable utility, but they're good because ultimately they will lead to the fully autonomous car, which is definitely coming. A lot of people say, no, but they're in denial. It is coming because in the large urban areas of the world, we cannot solve the surface transportation problem anymore any other way. It's not uncommon for people in Los Angeles or Rome or Milan or Paris or London to spend 3 to 3.5 hours a day in a commute. Well, that's productive time that's lost to society. And the fully autonomous module, which will at some point be mandated in the cities, to where you could still drive your human-driven car to the periphery, leave it in a parking area, and then in town, you'll only be allowed to use autonomous modules. And none of those can be privately owned. They're just like little instantly available shuttles where you're then billed for the mileage used. And again, whether we like it or not, it's the only way we're going to solve the urban transportation problem.
Gridlock, definitely. I think a lot of us lived through that, or lived in these regions, and have found that to be the problem.
Well, look at what happens. First of all, human reaction at traffic lights. If you're number 5 in a line waiting for the light to turn green, you may not make it through that light because it takes everybody in front of you several seconds to wake up to the fact that the light has changed. That's not going to be the case in autonomous cars. Whenever the signal, and it probably won't be an optical signal anymore, whenever the signal comes for that direction to go, that whole stick or whole train of autonomous cars will move through that light at the same time. The other thing is a lot of the bad traffic situations are caused by the inevitable daily crash on the freeway someplace.
Yes.
And with autonomous modules, there will be no more crashes on freeways or anywhere else. If now it only takes you 1 hour a day for your commute, where it used to take 2.5, somebody is giving you back 1.5 hours of time.
That's beautiful.
And that also has societal benefits, because if we assume that people are productive,
Yes.
and that's lies at the very foundation of all our economic assumptions.
Yes.
But if in the whole country, the productive part of the population gets 1 hour more time per day for either leisure pursuits, on which they obviously spend money, or working, that's going to have a huge positive effect on the economy, not to mention the elimination of death on the highway and all of the other negative aspects of the automobile that we've always accepted as that's just the way it is.
Yes, and like you've pointed out, maybe those days of performance driven vehicles are coming to an end, where we won't necessarily have to have that control to go 100 miles an hour to get to the next red light.
Right.
Because we're in a hurry. I've got to have a fast car. I can beat this little Toyota. I'm going to get to that next light before they do. That'll be over.
Yeah, gone.
Yeah.
But all in all, you'll get where you're going way faster.
Sure. And lastly, Bob, there might be some concerns by law enforcement. They won't be able to write as many tickets.
Well, that's too bad. And the insurance companies, are going to make less money because there will be less privately insured cars.
Yeah.
And the big fleets like Uber and Lyft and Maven and so forth, and there'll be many more of those, they'll be self-insured. So automotive insurance is an endangered species. Car dealers are an endangered species. And when it comes to automobile accidents, I feel so bad for the trial lawyers.
Yeah, there you go, Bob.
Crocodile tears for them.
Exactly. Well, you've described it perfectly. And I think we should feel more assured, ladies and gentlemen, on the future of autonomous driving. Well, stay with us here at the North American International Auto Show. Thank you for staying with us, ladies and gentlemen, here at the North American International Auto Show press preview event. As we've been walking throughout this 1 million square feet complex, we came downstairs and we found the good people at Washtenaw Community College. Mike Galey is an instructor there in a very unique field, one that is important to all of us, especially with this new age of digital electronics and our mobility. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Now, Mike, as we were talking just briefly, this new era of digital electronics is affecting us all in many ways, and things are being done now through this process. And you're teaching students in this area of digital electronics when it comes to our instrumentation, control of the automobile, and also with an eye on security.
Absolutely. Washtenaw Community College has been in the cybersecurity space now since the early 2000s. We've offered degree and certificate programs since then. I've been teaching in that since about the inception of these programs. But what we've done recently is sort of take the next step. Because today, if you look at vehicles, they're just really nothing more than computers on wheels. As a matter of fact, many different computers on wheels. So what we've built here is something what we call ACE, the Auto Cyber Educator. And there's different modules from a vehicle, okay? And in here we actually have the equivalent of a couple of different computer networks. On a vehicle, it's called a CAN bus. If you look at the different, mechanical devices like the accelerator or the brake pedal, there's nothing mechanical about that anymore other than the physical pedal. From there, it just sends a signal over the CAN bus to the modules that control brakes or the module that controls acceleration or whatever the case may be. And that's going to be represented as data, as a data packet on that CAN bus. So if I can capture that data packet, and we've done that, we can replay it back. So if I want to accelerate a vehicle, I can just keep replaying back that packet. Likewise with the brakes, likewise with the different components. So it's going to be very important for our students that they understand this, and we're going to be integrating ACE into our cybersecurity curriculum. Okay, not that we need to be concerned today that we're going to, your vehicle's going to be hacked and somebody's going to be taking control of it, like you see in the Fast and
Yes.
Furious and some of these other
Yes.
movies. That's not plausible today. However, the things that happen today, we never thought were plausible 25 years ago. 25 years ago, at the very early inception of the internet, we never thought that a couple of people could take over 100,000 computers on the internet. So it's very hard to predict, 5 or 10 years from now what's going to be possible, particularly once vehicles get continuous internet connectivity.
Yes.
Now what we have are computers on wheels connected to the internet. So what we've done is created a target-rich environment for hackers. Okay. However, the big difference is that the automakers are fully aware of this and they're building and designing these with security in mind, unlike the internet, which was not designed with security in mind, and we're retrofitting security into it.
Now, Mike, you've mentioned this CAN bus, and as this is now becoming evolutionary to this 5G world, how's this going to change, or what's the benefit?
Now, the CAN bus is something that's internal to the to the vehicle. What's interesting there is that the CAN bus is very low speed, and when you look at today's technology, things like LiDAR, things are going to, it's going to be integrated in some of the autonomous vehicles and also some of the assisted driving technology for non-autonomous vehicles. We need something a little bit faster than what the CAN bus can do, because the CAN bus is very low speed. So what automakers are looking at potentially, that in the future we may have Ethernet. And if we go to Ethernet, we have lived in that space for the past 25 years. That's the technology that computer networks run on. And potentially it's going to happen because of the technologies like LiDAR, LiDAR sensing, video, things of that sort, all these different kind of sensors that vehicles are going to have.
And Mike, you mentioned this term LiDAR. What is that specifically?
It's an acronym that means light detection and ranging, and it's basically, think of it like radar, but using lasers. And what it can do is extensively used, or will be extensively used in vehicles for things like collision avoidance, to be able to detect that there's an obstacle or pedestrian or another vehicle in front of you to automatically slow the vehicle down.
Okay, and now as we kind of moved over to the display, Mike, the LiDAR application is actually being used right here on this display.
Correct. This is what's known as a slingshot by Polaris, and you see here, this is actually the LiDAR unit. And on that screen right over there. So as we move around there, you'll actually see it. It's not a typical representation, but you can see that's exactly how I would appear to LiDAR as I'm moving around within its range. So as we move around there, you'll actually see it. It's not a typical representation, but you can see that's exactly how I would appear to LiDAR as I'm moving around within its range.
Well, Mike, I can see you're a great instructor, and you're going to prepare us for this new future of digital electronics when it comes to the control of our potentially all autonomous vehicle. So we can all rest assured that we've got good instructors like you in the process, and a lot of the good students from Washington Community College will be out there making a difference. Thanks, Mike, for
Thank
the
you very
excellent
much.
description. Stay with us, folks. Thank you for staying with us, ladies and gentlemen, here at the North American International Auto Show. We came up here to the Michigan State Police display. We have Trooper Shaw. We're all concerned about distracted driving, so is the state police. So if you get your head out of your app, you just might save your life for the person next to you, right, Mr. Shaw?
Absolutely. That's one of the things that we focused on in November was distracted driving. Now, we all know that April is National Distracted Driving Month, and we'll really hit it again. But we talk to our troopers as they're out on patrol every day to look at distracted driving, because we know this is the #1 cause of crashes in the Metro Detroit area, across the state, and probably across the country. Distracted driving leads to many things, either losing your mind and not knowing how fast you're going, traveling too close to the person in front of you because you're too busy looking down at your cell phone. So we want to remind everyone, not only in the state of Michigan, but across the country, to get your head out of your app. That's a campaign that we use to kind of use an educational purpose of it. For us, we use an unmarked car where we put ununiformed troopers in these unmarked cars to go out there and try to find people that are using their cell phone, that are texting, that are eating, switching their radio stations, and then have a marked car pull them over. Sometimes, we just is educational, a verbal warning, hey, this is something that you want to be careful of. But other times, we did give them that ticket.
Sure, they're pretty hefty, I understand, and like you say, it's a lot better than getting somebody killed that you can live with the rest of your life. Consequently, we're seeing a doubling of fatality over the last few years, and this is why you guys are out there being very diligent. About 2,000 people last year in America were killed because of this.
Of distracted driving. In Michigan alone, 2014, we had 14 of our residents who were killed on our roads, and then 28 in 2015. So when the stats come out for 16, we're concerned as we're seeing this doubling of distracted driving deaths go, that's going to get even worse. So it's time for us to kind of get in there. If you got to throw that phone in your trunk, if you got to throw it in the back seat, whatever you got to do to kind of remind yourself. And one of the things that we really want to be careful of is when we talk to a lot of teenagers and kids and people that are learning how to drive, where did you learn, to text and drive and things like that? And their first and only answer is mom and dad.
There you go. Well, it applies to all of us. Folks, make sure you stay safe out there. Put down that little machine where you're driving the big machine. And just, if you would, just stay tuned for 40 seconds. We have a public service announcement in conjunction with the Department of Natural Resources, Michigan State Police, and Michigan Horse Council.
Always pass slow and wide when encountering Michigan equine trail groups on Michigan roadways. The Michigan Horse Council, along with the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, maintains over 225 miles of outdoor recreational trails for horse and equine activities. The Michigan State Police reported there were 889 traffic fatalities and 753 cell phone distracted driving crashes this year, a 13% increase from the previous year. Horse and livestock fatalities are on the increase. Please keep these common sense procedures in mind when encountering equine trail signs. Always pass slow and wide. Heed riders' requests to slow down. Activate hazard signal lights on your vehicle. And treat every horse as a hazard. This message from the Michigan Department of Natural Resources and the Michigan Horse Council.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the North American International Auto Show for 2019 press preview event. I'm here with Chad at one of our favorite locations, the Ford Motor Company, and with some of the new advances in transmissions, fuel efficiency. The light truck market just seems to be taking off, and a lot of the guys out there love these vehicles for different reasons. Chad, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. I love the opportunity to talk to you about the all-new 2019 Ford Ranger.
Beautiful vehicle. The EcoBoost transmission's proven to be a real economical saver.
Yeah, absolutely. So this vehicle has what I would consider the perfect powertrain for this segment. It is a 2.3 liter EcoBoost paired with an automatic 10-speed transmission. So both of those are segment exclusives, both having a turbocharged engine and having a 10-speed transmission. And really what it does is it delivers awesome capability and awesome fuel economy.
So a lot of folks who love our outdoor recreational trails, which Michigan is the #1 country with outdoor trails, can take this vehicle and tow your boat or your horses for that matter.
Yeah, it's got the power and capability to do all of that and more. So it's going to the powertrain's going to deliver 270 horsepower, 310 foot-pound of torque, which is the largest in the segment for a gas engine. It's going to have the highest towing rating for anything in the midsize segment at 7,500 pounds of towing. So that'll tow a lot of gear and fun stuff.
Yes.
And it's going to have the biggest payload in the segment at 1,860 pounds. So it's going to be extremely capable, but in addition to being capable, it'll have 26 miles per gallon on the highway 4x2, which is it's the best fuel efficiency of any vehicle in the segment.
I'm real familiar with the EcoBoost. I've seen that have an impact. So this just means a great savings for our environment.
Yeah, absolutely. The fuel you can have the fuel economy, but you don't have to give up anything, and that's really what our customers say is they want it. They want it all.
Well, it's nice to see the Ford Motor Company leading the way in this light truck segment area. And Chad, keep up the good work at Ford Motor Company.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it.
Stay with us, folks. Thanks for your time, ladies and gentlemen, and staying with us here at the North American International Auto Show press preview event. And as we go about today, we have certainly a lot of media people. We've got Mike Brennan. Mike, thanks for taking the time out.
Pleasure. Thanks very much.
Good. Mike, I know we've seen you before in the past. You're out in Ann Arbor a lot, and you've got a publication that you run.
MITechnews.com.
MITechnews.com. And as you've been here today, interviewing various auto representatives as well, the feeling of the change of the auto show going into the new year, into 2020 in June, I think that's going to be a good move.
What's going to happen, of course, in June 2020 is it's all moving to June. And so it'll be a big celebration of Detroit. Roger Penske's going to marry it up with the Detroit Grand Prix. It'll be, something for the 5,000 journalists. Instead of coming to the frozen tundra of Michigan, they're going to see Michigan in its best season in summer. So I think it's going to be a really good thing.
Of course, today we've got sunny skies. We're almost in 40-some degrees.
Almost, yeah.
You never know, do you?
No, I've been to the show since 1996, and there's been some pretty nasty times down here with snow and sleet and ice, and now the weather seems to be warming up for whatever reason.
Exactly.
We'll take it, right?
We'll take it.
Yeah.
But as native Detroiters we are, this whole aspect of the automobile industry here in Detroit, its resurgence and how this city's coming back from what seemed like destined ruin.
Oh, absolutely. I came here in the mid-'90s from the West Coast, worked at the Detroit Free Press where I covered autos for them. Downtown was not a friendly place to be at night, and it's totally changed now. You got all these young people downtown. You got $2,000 a month apartments downtown. In fact, there's not enough apartments for all these young entrepreneurs downtown. It's a whole different feel to it.
It's nice to see the inspiration of people, younger people to even middle-aged people who are starting their own businesses.
Right.
And I suppose it's that real pugnaciousness of people from this region, grew up around the auto industry.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, entrepreneurs, that's what we've been good at now for more than a century, right? I mean, Henry Ford, look at him.
That's right.
And so it's kind of the revival of the entrepreneurial spirit here in Detroit.
If he can do it, we can do it, right, Mike?
Absolutely.
Folks, you can do it too. So stay tuned here at the North American International Auto Show. Now, Mike, you mentioned MI Tech News.
Yeah.
I guess you've got a big event coming up in the future.
We do. I'm co-producing a show at the Michigan Science Center on April 29th called IoT Tech Connect. IoT stands for Internet of Things. Now, what's going on in the basement here at the show with the automobilities, all that AI and connected vehicles and all that, that's what the show is going to emphasize, but it'll be focused totally on Michigan companies. And so, again, we're going to have that at the Science Center, iottechconnect.com. You can find out more about it there. And part of what we're doing is some of the proceeds go towards supporting the Michigan Science Center and some of its STEM initiatives, science, technology, engineering, and math, which is what we really lack. We need more of those talented people. They recruit these young kids, middle school, high school kids, get them exposed to what that kind of career life would be, and then hopefully, they go to college, stick around here, and work in our auto industry.
Well, Mike, it sounds like you're out there being a positive battery in all this change, so keep that up. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and that concludes the 2019 North American International Auto Show press preview event here at the Cobo Center, Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, USA. Well, we've just had a chance to go travel about 1 million square feet throughout this beautiful exhibition area. And I think as we all begin to feel the confidence of the auto industry, how important it is to our society. It's been social change that has moved our country forward. The automobile industry has been a big partner in that aspect, bringing opportunities, job opportunities, equal opportunity for all Americans. And that's just going to continue to get stronger here in the 21st century. And we couldn't do it if we didn't have our volunteers that help come down. We have one such person, Carter Sherline from Ann Arbor, Michigan, who does our still photography. Don't be shy, Carter. Carter, thanks a lot.
Welcome.
For coming in from Ann Arbor. And I understand you're the best photographer in Ann Arbor. What's the name of your company?
Frog Print Studios.
Well, good. You guys do a lot of work over there. And what type of events do you cover? And
Just about anything. I do a lot of running and golf related, but portraits, products, just about anything. I don't do weddings generally, but that's about all.
Well, sounds like you're a happy guy. Consequently, you've been out there doing your work over these years. You're self-employed. And how can the people get a hold of you?
Well, the website is photoview.net, Photoview, excuse me. So Carter at photoview.net.
And you're a native Detroiter.
Originally from Detroit, more or less, family was involved in the auto industry tangentially. So.
Well, you're still here, Carter, and thanks for coming on down.
Okay, you're welcome.
Oh, great. And we have also Mr. Bill Hall from Podium Video. Bill, thanks a lot, from Ypsilanti, Michigan, graduate of Eastern Michigan University, and a Navy veteran.
And native Detroiter.
Well, it makes you feel a lot of pride when you come here and see all the great things.
Oh yeah. We're way downtown now. This is ground zero.
Now, Podium Video, you guys are out and around town. You're doing all types of video work for all types of organizations. How can people get a hold of you, Bill?
Yes. Yep. Podiumvideo.biz, B-I-Z, will get you in touch with us, and we can do pretty much anything, but we specialize in long-form presentations, lectures, business conferences, and lately we've had clients come to us to live stream memorials and funerals.
Well, that's fascinating in this world of technology, and now anybody can bring live television right to your home.
Well, it's with the memorials, it's a sad occasion, but it's another chance for the family to get together, and it's important socially.
Wonderful, Bill. Keep up the good work, and thanks for your help.
Thanks, Doug.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay safe driving during 2019, and we'll see you next year in June 2020. So bring your shorts, your beautiful Hawaiian shirts. We'll take you around this beautiful city of Detroit. Doug Damon's my name. Safe driving.